Okay. Hi, Robert.
Hello.
What was your favorite book as a child?
I didn't have a favorite book as a child because I was not read to as a child. Um, there was no bedtime stories for me. Uh, I did my first book I read was in the fifth grade. I was 11. I had to do a book report on George Washington Carver.
Wait, so
Then
so before the fifth grade, you had never read a book, or you just don't remember any of the books?
I've never read a book before the fifth grade. It was a book on George
Wow.
Washington Carver. Then I discovered Goosebumps, and I started reading Goosebump books.
Mm-hmm. Good choice. Excellent choice.
hmm
What was your favorite Goosebumps book?
I don't remember which books it was. I just remember green slime on covers.
Mm-hmm. Um. Okay. So, what inspired you to write children's books?
Um, I was going through um, like some deep depression in like 2015, somewhere around there, and I needed to find a purpose to live. I was on death row at the time. I just had a breakup. I had just lost my first appeal, and my mother was going through some deep depression. I got a letter from her saying that she committed herself to the hospital because she didn't want to be here no more. So that sent me into a deep depression. So I needed a purpose to live. So I decided I will try to write children's books, and that's what gave me the idea to write children's books. And I started children's books because uh, I could barely write a proper sentence at the time. So it seemed less intimidating to try to tackle children's books instead of adult books.
Mm-hmm. Um. What did you have any like? I mean, of course you did. Any personal experiences that relate to your books? One of them is about stereotyping. One of them is about
Yeah.
transgender. One of them is about learning how to ride a bike. And the other one is about love is
Uh,
love. Love is
love
love.
is love. Um, Stereotyping, yes. I got a lot of experience with being stereotyped. I go through it still in the place I'm at. Um, I got a lot of my stories from the news, watching the news, and I'm like, it's a gold mine of stories that kids go through, topics that kids go through. Around this time, Trayvon Martin was big in the news. Here go a guy who was stereotyped because he had on a hoodie and he lost his life behind it. So I felt compelled to do something on stereotyping to try to help kids uh, spot it, avoid it, and just navigate through this world with it.
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer that question?
Yeah, do you know how to ride a bike?
Yeah, I know how to ride a bike. I probably don't know how to ride one now. I haven't rode one in like 17 years, but I think I could jump on that and get going.
Okay, I think so too. Do you have you ever known any transgender people?
Um, Trans what came from, I was in the county in the hole, and the hole suck. It's freezing cold. You got no lotion. You got no food. You just hungry and cold and miserable. The first night I got there, um, a, this person came out of his cell and was walking to the phone, and only one person is allowed out the cell at a time. So it was this person hour out, and as this person was walking, I saw like a woman. I saw the femininity in her walk as a woman. So I was like, damn, they got women in here? Like, there's no way possible. So all of the people in the pod started banging on the doors, calling this person all the worst horrible names. you would call a person. So while she was on the phone trying to talk to her family, they had to hear all of these derogatory names being called at her. So the next morning, when it was my hour out, I confronted all the people in the pod because I hate bullies. And then this person, Michael, who called herself Michelle, she thanked me for taking up for her. And that was my first interaction with a trans person. And during our interactions, I ended up being educated on transgender, transsexual, and all of that. Before, I didn't know nothing about it. And afterwards, once I learned more, I got me a Nat Geo magazine. I started studying trans, LBGTQ, and that's how trans what was manifested.
Okay. And
Long story.
as far as your last book, Love is Love, do you know what love is?
Are you asking me, do I know what love is?
I'm asking you, do you know what love is?
I believe I do. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that you feel. It's hard to explain. I know what some of the qualities that express love, but putting it into a definition, love is kind. Love is empathetic. Love is patient. Love is beautiful. Love is warm. Love is all of those things. What's your definition of love?
This isn't about me. This is about Robert Ray. What are some other ideas you have for future books? And do you want to write adult books at some point?
Ideas for, well, me and you are working on a book. I don't know
True.
the title to the book. Yeah, we're going to be co-authors. Mm-hmm. It's about white kittens and black kittens.
Mm-hmm.
Playing together, enjoying each other. I don't know what we're gonna name it, but that's what I'm working on. I want to work on a autobiography, but I don't feel my life has reached a feat worthy of record yet. So I'm not going to work on no autobiography. I need to add more to my life story before I do that. But eventually I would like to tackle something like that. But as far as right now go, I'm sticking to children's books.
Okay. So writing the kids' books, what is your main goal? Like just reaching kids in a positive manner, or what else?
I definitely enjoy reaching kids in a positive manner. I really love the idea that somebody is buying my book. When you tell me I sold a book in America or Canada or France, I love to just...
Yeah, you talk about it for the next 10 minutes. Who do you think bought the book?
Who do you think bought the book?
How did they know?
Yeah. How did they know?
Who are they reading it to?
How did they get on their radar?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I love thinking about stuff like that. Like, who bought the book? Who reading it? What do they think about it? Are they going to go post a review on it so I can read what they think? Yeah, I love to reach kids, and the idea that somebody, whether it's kids or adults, because I've heard from adults too who get something out of my book. I love that. It's not even about money, because for book authors out there, y'all know we don't make a lot of money. You know, you're not a book author yet, but you'll know once you become one. We don't make no money, so it's more pleasure out of knowing that somebody is reading your book and enjoying your words.
Okay. What gets you out of bed on the worst day of your life?
What gets me? That's a good question.
Thank you.
Did you think of that on your own?
I did.
Where you get that from? An Oprah interview?
No.
What gets me out of bed? when I'm on one of my worst days. Really, it boils down to not wanting to give up. I've spent so many years in isolation, um, and I've seen so many people around me break to the mental warfare you go through when you in that environment. And I always took it as a challenge. Like when I see my neighbor starting to cut himself or playing with his species or eating his species, whatever, banging on the doors all night, I just look at them like, I'm not going to let this place win. Um, I'm not going to give up. So I just keep my mind sharp. And when it comes to having my worst days in here, what gets me out of bed is the sure will of not wanting to give up. When I'm going through hell, I strap up my boots, tie them up, and I just keep on trucking. It gotta get better than this. It gotta, cause I'm in the mud already. It gotta get better.
What is your superpower?
My superpower. Where you get this question from? Off the back of a cereal box? It's a good question. My superpower is I believe I have a good quality of being able to talk about tough topics while making people feel comfortable. Whether it's race, religion, sex, those are the three things you don't talk about in prison. Those things would definitely lead to, it could escalate the violence real quick. I am able to do it and do it in a way that's so diplomatic that everybody feel comfortable talking about tough topics that would normally make other people uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
When you say,
I would agree. I would agree.
did you just open up to me? Did you just open up to me in the beginning? Did I make you feel comfortable talking about tough topics?
No. Next question. Let's see. Back to your childhood, what experiences gave you, let's just say, strength, wisdom, and courage?
I think growing up in the environment I grew up in, I grew up in Chicago, mid 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Rough spot to grow up in for an adult and a kid.
The south side of Chicago, specifically.
Yeah. And the adversity you go through, hungry nights, eating crackers and ketchup for dinner. Um, I think all of those things adds to strength and courage. Like it was courage to be able to go to school. You know, I live in this neighborhood, and I got to catch the train and a bus and another bus to get to high school or to elementary school. Leaving my neighborhood took courage. It's walking through the savannah in Africa. You know, it's death behind around every corner. So that's courage, strength, and just going through so much adversity that gives you strength, and that's why I believe I got my strengths and my courage.
You don't have any wisdom?
My wisdom, that's experience, making the mistakes. How many mistakes have I made with you? How many times I tell you to let me make mistakes so I can learn, because I don't really make the same mistake twice. So wisdom comes from mistakes. We don't get it all right on the first try, Anna. We have to mess up so that we could become wiser. And that's where I get my wisdom from. I got an old soul. I don't live a lot. And I made a lot of mistakes. But the byproduct of those mistakes is wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree that you make a lot of mistakes. I'm just kidding. Yes, I agree that you learn from your mistakes and you don't often make the same mistake twice.
You talking about me or in general?
I'm talking about you.
All right. Well, look at all the years of wisdom I got just with you and I. You know.
Mm-hmm. A wealth of knowledge.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Um, do you think that your life has important purpose and meaning, and what makes it meaningful? Did we already do this one?
No. Um, I talked about purpose. You know, with finding the purpose in books and writing. Um, do I live my life has meaning now? I do. I didn't years ago. 5, 6 years ago, I didn't. I met you. You pulled me out of the slump that I was in. Um, you added to my life, gave me reasons to kick and keep fighting when I had an expiration date on my head. Um, being able to have you care for my advice or my suggestions, to be knowing that, to know that you waiting to hear from me. Those things help to add meaning and purpose because it is so easy to. I'm trying not to cry. I'm getting all emotional. It's easy to feel like nothing in here. It's easy to not feel like you got a purpose. So you and our beautiful daughter, that's what keeps me going. Yeah.
Chloe, little
Your little Chloe,
Chloe,
your little freaking baby.
a little freaking baby Chloe. Well, I think you're. I think it goes without saying that you have a lot more purpose and meaning beyond your family. Boo. But
Well, I'm adding.
nice answer.
I'm in college. I'm about to get my associate's degree. And you know, like just some more insight in why I felt like nothing 6 years ago. I got in college. My team of legal eagles paid to get me in college, and they kicked me out. Well, the prison said I couldn't be in college because they said I didn't have death row prisoners didn't have the privilege in order to get an education. And it's like, what would you have me focus my attention on? So it's like you want to do better and want to do good, and because you condemn, you can't do nothing. So. And then just recently, you know, I joined college in February. They gave these Pell Grants to people. And I was working on my first essay, and they kicked me out because they said I had life. They wouldn't give me a Pell Grant because I had said, so it's like, you want to do good, but you just keep getting rejected because your life is worth nothing in their eyes because you have life. You know, you just discard it. So, yeah. Just got to keep trying to find meaning and purpose in life.
But that didn't stop you because now you're paying for it on your own with
donations from people who donate. I got this semester paid for, but I got a bunch of more semesters I gotta go.
Yeah. What has been your favorite class that you've taken?
Well, next semester I'm taking environmental science, and creative writing. Looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Worst
you're
one,
a
math.
nerd. You love
Math.
science.
I hate math. It's stupid. I don't care about it. I'm never gonna need to, well, it's stupid to me. I ain't gonna never need to know set theory or logic, truth tables and all of that. I ain't gonna never use that in life, but I got an A. I got a 95% in it.
Hey.
My favorite one so far was has to be communications with Professor Alger, and my English one too. My English class, I love that one, and I love psychology, and I love sociology with
So
Professor
you
Hershey.
loved all of them except math, but you still did well.
Right. I'm learning.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna be able to teach Chloe and talk to Chloe about stuff.
Oh yes, yes you are. how can your journey provide insight and guidance for other inspiring artists and entrepreneurs and husbands and fathers?
Um, I say, well, just look at me. I mean, I'm in the mud and I'm still doing something. I'm not allowing what I can't do interfere with what I can do. So, just that.